Hello, my beautiful friends. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. I missed you guys so much, but I'm super excited to talk about my time that I spent with the kids down in Arizona. We did so much and it was much needed. And yeah, I just had the time of my life. If you're new today, I'm just going to be applying some makeup. I do have a new palette that I do want to try out, but today I'm just going to be talking about my vacation that I spent down in Arizona. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, please stick around. Like I said, I do have a new palette, and what I did was just go through my drawers and picked out some makeup I haven't used in a very long time. All right, there's a lot to talk about, a lot to try out, so let's just get started. Before I started filming today, I realized we are almost at 5,000 subscribers. Can you believe it? Even though it's such a small, number compared to most influencers out there, to me it's huge. It's a huge milestone, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. A lot of you have been with me, right from the beginning, and thank you so much for taking a chance and subscribing to my channel. Yeah, thank you all so much. Like I said, I'm so humbled and excited, and hopefully we continue to grow. Okay, so let's get into this video. I do have a new palette, like I mentioned. Alter Ego keeps sending me some stuff, and I cannot be more grateful because it really does help me. I don't have to go out and purchase, new products, and this is one of their new palettes, so I'm super excited about it. It's absolutely beautiful, and I hope I'm saying it right. It's called a Sakura palette, but this is what the packaging looks like, and this reminds me so much of when I lived in Washington or Northern Virginia. And yeah, we used to get those flowers, once a year. They would bloom. They're just so beautiful. So yeah, it just gave me those vibes and took me back a little bit when I lived in Virginia. But it does have a mirror, and this is the palette here. That is just so my vibe. I love those greens. And it almost looks like two palettes if you really split it down the middle. Like this here, I'm always getting confused. This side here looks like they all go together. And then the rest of the palette really does mix well. So it's almost like having two palettes in one. You can come up with some really pretty looks. So let's try that. They also sent me another eye primer, but I'm just going to use the one they sent last time. Okay, so their eye primer, I forgot to mention last time, it goes on just very slick, but it really does work well. The shadows do grip really nicely to it. So I do hope you have some time because this is going to be a pretty chatty get ready with me. All right, so I do think I'm going to start with this shade right here, and it's called Spring. It looks like a pretty good transition shade. And I'm actually not sure how I'm going to take this palette, what look I want to come up with here, but I do love their formula. A lot of their palettes are dupes, and this one actually looks like a Natasha Denona one. I forget what that one is called, but I'll put it up around here. But I was looking, I'm like, that, looks pretty familiar. Okay, so let's start talking about the trip. We left on a Wednesday, and we took out of Detroit about 9 o'clock in the morning, which is pretty early. We had to wake up. It was like, I don't know, 5:30 and be at the airport. You know the routine. And we landed in Arizona at like 10 o'clock because they have a 3-hour time difference from us here in Michigan. And you will not even believe, well, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know what I'm going to talk about here. But my son is quite the comic jokester, and they met us inside the airport. So we got our luggage, and we're walking up, and I saw my son. He's holding a sign. And I'll put that, all the clips and stuff around here somewhere. But yeah, he's holding a sign, welcome home out of prison, for... For me, I was like, oh my gosh, people were kind of side eyeing me, and, me, I don't get too embarrassed anymore because he's done it so much, my whole life with him. He's always trying to embarrass mom, and it was so, fun. It was so typical of him, and it just set the tone of the whole vacation. It was just hilarious. But prior to that, I forgot to mention, so we got off the plane, and, we're just, walking through the airport, but her parents actually were in Arizona, and we crossed paths. They were waiting for us at the gate because the flight we came in on, they were actually going to get on that flight to go back home. So it was just so weird. We saw them and then the kids. It was just an amazing, just first impression of being in Arizona. And I forgot to mention, if you are new, this is your first time being here. My son actually moved to Arizona. It was back in May, so we haven't seen them since May, and we're very close because he's my only child. And yeah, he married the most amazing woman. We become best friends. So yeah, it's just been very hard for me, not having them here because, I never thought in a million years that he would move away. I honestly thought, we would be next door neighbors, but so this was a huge adjustment for me. But they're both doing very well in Arizona. It's meant to be for them. They absolutely love it. And yeah, they're just having the time of their lives as they should. They should be having the time of their lives. But it's just, a little heartbreaking for me. I'll get over it, but it is just so wonderful when we do see them. Okay, so I do think I'm going to maybe go into this shade here. And let me see, it's called Petal, I believe. Okay, that is just deepening up just slightly. It might be too close to that transition shade, but you could tell it is such a beautiful shade. And these do blend really well. As you can see, there is a little bit of kickback or some dust going, but they are super loose shadows, but that kind of makes it easier to blend. So the first day that we got there, we kind of took it easy. We went back to their place and, kind of unpacked. And then we got a bite to eat and went swimming in one of their two pools. There's two pools at the apartments that they're living at right now. Right now, they're just renting until, the prices come down on on housing. And they are planning to buy, I think, sometime next year, maybe around June. But the place that they're renting from now, it's like a little gated community, and they have two pools, which is super nice. So if the one is too busy, you can, go in the other one. But they were just really nice. So that's what we did the first night, just kind of hung out, got reacquainted, had some great laughs, a few cocktails, and we actually went to bed quite early. I think everybody just was so overwhelmed, tired, and everything. So we did get a lot of rest because we had a big week coming for us. Okay, we're going to start deepening up this eye look here. And I think I am going to go with this shade right here. Even though, you guys, I got to get used to this monitor. It's really driving me crazy that I'm having such a hard time. But I'm going to start with this shade here. Even though it looks almost like a shimmer, it's one of those that I think will kind of, I don't know, matte out because it's not like a high shimmer. It's more like a satin finish. So let's start deepening this corner up and see what happens here. So, ooh, yeah, this is going to be a perfect shade here for the outer corner. Okay, so the next day was Thursday, which was Daryl and I's 33rd anniversary. I still can't believe we have been married for 33 years. So, Amanda, she had planned this whole trip out, just perfectly. She is a planner. And also the kids' anniversary is August 29th. So we kind of, celebrated both of them. So she had picked out this beautiful restaurant and she had looked into it and thought it would be very similar to the one that we went to in Vegas, which is called the Golden Steer. And it was pretty darn close. And there's so much history in some of these restaurants. And that one actually was the owner that ended up buying it. He was like a pit boss or something at the Flamingo in Vegas. And something about like Bugsy Siegel is in with that mix. Like he had dined there or they were friends or something. So a lot of these places were like mafia run or mafia, some kind of relation to that. But when you walk in, you actually go through the kitchen, which is so bizarre. That's how you enter and that's how you exit. And I just thought that was really neat. But back in the day, that is how things were run. That was just a wonderful meal. Yeah, it was great service. The gentleman that was serving us actually he had gotten married in Mackinac, which is here in Michigan. So how bizarre is that? And then after that, we went to a casino And that gave Vegas vibes as well. It was a very nice casino. She didn't even know that that was there. She had found out, through some coworkers and stuff. So we went there and we played for a long time. Didn't win much money at all. I don't know. We lost money, but not a lot. Kurt and I played. It's called 3 card poker or something like that, and was able to play for quite a long time. Now, Daryl and Amanda do not like gambling, but Amanda loves going to the casino. So yeah, she just kind of, hung around and watched Kurt and I play. Okay, now I think I'm going to go into this shade here called a Sky. That looks super pretty. And just apply that more towards the outer corner. Okay, so Friday, Amanda had rented a pontoon boat. It's about a Lake Pleasant is where we're heading. And it's about a 40-minute drive. Now, on the way up to Mount Pleasant, we ran, across some wild donkeys. So there was like this huge family crossing the street. There was some on the side. You will not believe what happened. The donkeys came up to the car. Well, one of them did. He had absolutely no fear. And I noticed, these are wild because he had like, I don't know, like he had been attacked or gotten a fight or something because he had like a little bit of a scar here on his neck. And he was just so sweet. And Amanda, started flipping out. She's like, oh my gosh, we're going to be trampled or stomped or whatever she was saying. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like in tears in the back, seat crying because I was so excited. I absolutely love donkeys. If there's 2 things you want to know about me, I love dogs and donkeys. Well, actually 3, and squirrels. I absolutely love them. I think they are all just, adorable, because my love of donkeys actually came. We had gone to Arizona on a family trip years ago, and we had gone to Jerome. And in this little town, there was this pet donkey, and his name was Pedro. And I absolutely fell in love with him. He was just so sweet. Anyway, I mean, how amazing is that for wild donkeys to come up to your car? So that's on our way down to, the lake. See, I get all excited just talking about it. But now I'm going to go into this shade here. Yeah, so that just set the tone of that day. So we got the pontoon. This lake is absolutely gorgeous. It is huge, absolutely huge. We pretty much had the lake to ourselves because Amanda had gone to check it out a few weeks before we got there, and it was on a weekend, and she said it was ridiculous. It took forever just to get in. It was just, really congested. So we were very lucky. So we spent the whole day out on or Lake Pleasant, and I'm going to tell you, I hardly got any sun. I was so good with the sunscreen, and plus, the canopy on the pontoon really protected us. But I think we went through, I swear, like 2 or 3 cans of sunblock, which, is really spraying my parts, everything. Now I'm going to try this shade. Oh gosh, you guys, I got to get used to this someday. This shade here is my shimmer. So as of right now, I'm really loving this palette. This is going to be pretty bright. I can tell already. Let's see. Woo, yeah, that is really pigmented. So you got to be careful with the shimmers. And that's what I have found out with this Alter Ego's formula. Their shimmers are really bright and popping. Yeah, so being out on that lake was just so refreshing. The weather in Arizona, it was pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie. It was like 10, I don't know, 106, 109, some days 111. It just ranged. But I will say they are true. It's a different heat. It's a dry heat. Here in Michigan, it could be like 90 degrees out and it feels like it's 130 because it's so humid and sticky and gross. There it is, it's just hot. But being on that lake and the breeze and the scenery was absolutely stunning. The donkeys were out, around the lake, eating some of the grass. We saw a baby. Oh, you guys, it was just the time of my life. We had some music playing. She had brought a bunch of snacks and cocktails and drinks. So yeah, that was just a very fun day. So really quick before we move on, I swatched some of the shimmers here, and let's just see how pigmented they are. So yeah, those are really pretty and pigmented. Yeah, I can't wait to use this palette again and do like even a neutral look. Okay, to line my eyes, I think I'm going to use this. I think I got it in one of my boxes. It's by Adele Paint. I actually took the brown one to Arizona and it worked really well. And I think I might have even grabbed the brown one again. We'll find out. It's hard for me to tell. But it was super long lasting. And the thing is, you kind of got to move quickly because once it dries down, it does not want to budge. I've been using more pencil liners than felt tip liners lately. I just find that they work better, especially with my hooded eyes. And it's just, I don't know, more forgiving and a little softer. So that's basically what I just did. And like I said, once it sets down, this really doesn't budge. So I just curled my lashes and I want to revisit these. It's by Joa. One is the primer and then one is the mascara. So I haven't used this combo in forever. Okay, so Saturday came. So yeah, Friday, let me just finish off Friday. I cannot tell you how much fun that was. Okay, so Saturday we were just going to lay low, just hang out. So we woke up and went and had some, a great breakfast. And oh, let me tell you, okay, so when we first got there, the food there is just ridiculous. We went to a place that's called Eggs Ecstasy. That was the first breakfast right when we got in. It's one of my favorite restaurants there. Just everything's so fresh. So yeah, Saturday we had gone out to breakfast and then we went to their mall there, and it's really a nice mall. I can't even tell you how many floors this place had, but what I liked about it is they had like high-end stores and they also had affordable stores. Like here in Michigan, I guess the same, I don't know, builder or something created, it's called Somerset here. Well, Somerset is all like bougie, shops, and there's really nothing affordable there. Where this one, it was kind of broken off in a couple sections. So, you did have, more affordable places to go. And, you had the bougie if you wanted that. So, a little bit of something for everybody. So that was nice time. I took a few pictures on the rooftop there, and then we just we went to an excellent Italian restaurant that evening. The kids called it. Oh, they go, it's still a hole in the wall. No, it's not a hole in the wall. I keep telling them that. They're like, well, what do you consider a hole in the wall? And I go, well, not that. Because what it was is basically like a deli that probably has been around for years, and they just added some tables inside and out on the patio. So it's just smaller, but you could buy, some stuff to go, some deli meat or whatever. But their menu and the food was excellent. I ate so much that day that I seriously, like, it was up to here. I was so full. And then we just went back, let our tummy settle, and we went swimming in the pool in the evening, their pool. So they're like, you're going to see, once you get out of that water, it is freezing. Because I'm like, I can't believe, that because it is so hot. Well, it was true. We got in the water and it felt really good and comfortable. And then the minute we got out, I was like just froze. I'm like, you're right, because you're out in the desert basically. So you get in that desert cold, even though it was still like about 90 degrees out, or maybe even hotter. Any kind of breeze, it was just freezing. Okay, so really quick, I do remember liking this a lot. I could see why. I remember when I first reviewed it, I was like, ooh, this is really nice. Because, when you use a primer, you basically need to just lay down the primer and let it dry just a little bit. And then you go in with the mascara, and that's basically all you got to do. You don't have to keep putting layer upon layer. I mean, I'm sure you can if you wanted to, but usually, like, only one layer with a primer is all you really need. Okay, to fill in my pores, I'm going to be using my favorite Master Blur Stick, but this one actually has a shade to it, so I did want to revisit this one just to see if there's any difference. But as you can tell, yeah, my other one is more translucent, and this one does have a slight tint to it, which would be not bad, if I'm tanning or, self-tanning. And I did get a little sun down in Arizona. It's inevitable, you can't beat it. Even if you have sunblock on, that sun is going to get you. But I did get a little bit of color. So I'm just going to press this really good into the skin. For me right now, this is a good option. So I don't think it's any really different than the other translucent Master Blur Stick. Okay, and to prime the rest of my face, I'm going to use my Hard Candy Hydrating Primer. I haven't used this in a long time. Now, this one kind of reminds me of the e.l.f. one, if I can remember. There is that little green tint. And from what I can remember also, there is a little bit of tack to it. But right now, it does feel very soothing and hydrating. There is a slight tack, but not like the e.l.f. one where it's overdone. So yeah, as you can see, it's just very slight, but more than anything, it does feel super hydrating. So I really do like this primer. I remember liking it, and I just haven't used a primer like forever because I've been using my e.l.f. sunscreen, which works really well as a primer. Okay, and to for my complexion, I decided to use this. I haven't used this in a very long time. It's their Crystal Glow. I remember really enjoying it when I used it. It's called a Primedation or something like that. Yeah, Primedation. So apparently you don't need a primer when you use this, but I thought I was going to use a primer anyway, just to see, just to refresh my memory on this one. So hopefully the shade will work. I can't remember, so let's just kind of blend it in and see what happens. Okay, so like I was saying, Saturday was more like a laid back day. We just went to the mall and dinner. And then Sunday, we had gotten tickets to go to their baseball game. Now, when they first mentioned going to a baseball game in Arizona, I was like, I don't think so. I cannot sit out in that heat and sun for God knows how many hours. But their stadium is actually closed in. So the roof does come off, if it's, not so hot, but it was really hot. So they had the roof up and, it was air conditioned, they don't keep it freezing or anything, but it was enough to where I wasn't, just dying and perspiring like crazy. So yeah, we went to, it's their team is called the Diamondbacks, and I couldn't tell you for the life of me who they played. I'm not a huge sports fan. I like hockey and I do like baseball. More so if I'm there. But oh my gosh, I am so glad we went. We had excellent seats. And the tickets weren't, that overpriced at all. And what was nice is Amanda's parents actually have a place there. They have had a place there forever. And, they do a lot of traveling. So they actually have a driver, and we actually were able to use their driver to take us to the game and pick us up, which was so nice because number one, we didn't have to find a place to park. And number two, if we had some cocktails, it didn't matter. He took us right up to the doors. He was really sweet. Yeah, it just was very nice. I felt very bougie having a driver take us to a baseball game. Okay, so that foundation is pretty nice. I remember really enjoying it when I did try it out and I wore it for a very long time. That's all I was using. I remember just using it nonstop. So I will definitely let you guys know either here or in the description box how well it held up, especially, combining it with this primer. So, okay, so what else did I bring down? I brought down my Lottie London. This is kind of like a corrector because I do have some darkness under my eyes, as you can see. So it looks like this, but it is super hydrating as well. And that is basically all I'm going to need. You do not need a lot of this product. A little bit goes a very long way, but as you will see, it really does help conceal my darkness under my eyes. Okay, so as you can see how that really does conceal the darkness under my eyes, just evens things out. I just been using this nonstop. I absolutely love it. Okay, and for concealer, I'm going to use the Joa as well. And this one is just called their eye serum. I remember there was a time this is all I used. Now, I don't like the applicator, so how I do it is just place a little bit on the back of my hand and just apply it either with a sponge or a brush. So yeah, the game was a blast. What Amanda and I were looking forward to the most was getting hot dogs. We were so looking forward to having some good ballpark hot dogs, and it did not disappoint, and we had our little fix. So we were super happy about that. But yeah, it was a fun game. I believe they won. I don't even know if I was paying attention. No, they did win. I do remember now because we were cheering pretty pretty good there for a while. But I am so glad I got to go. Kurt was in his glory. My son is a huge sports fan. I mean, he likes any sport out there, including, oh, what does he watch that we always make fun of him? Cricket. He will literally sit there and watch cricket. I kid you not. And that kind of one game will go on for like days. Okay, I really do like how that looks under my eyes. They look super hydrated. And again, this is why I love bringing out my old makeup or makeup I haven't used in a long time because I really do like that. And I do love this little combo together. So I'm going to have to bring this out more often. That's why I love these kind of videos. Okay, so I did bring down a cream blush and I did bring down a powder bronzer. So again, I'm going to have to be very strategic how I do this, but yeah, I'm going to have to apply some powder first. So what I brought down for my powder is my House Labs. I haven't used this powder forever. I do know I absolutely love it. This is all I used for a very long time. There is like a mesh in there, so you really can't place it in your cap. But what I do is just take my brush and just tap it right on top of that mesh. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of product on there. So I'm actually going to tap a little bit off. And I am going to set this because this foundation is still a little tacky. Okay, so I'm just trying to remember everything. So that was Sunday. So Monday, I feel like I'm forgetting a day. No, Monday we did. We took a drive up to Sedona, which is probably about an hour and 40 minutes away from their house, maybe closer to 2 hours. It's a beautiful drive up through the mountains. Gets a little scary at some points. Poor Daryl. He really has a phobia of, going around mountains and stuff. So he got a little edgy there for, for a little bit. And so did I. It's pretty scary when you're going around those curves and, the cliff is right there, but it's absolutely beautiful. So anyway, we had rented, or reserved to go on the pink tour or pink Jeep tours. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but it's so amazing. If you ever have the chance, it's definitely worth every penny. The one guy, I guess the guide or the driver, he was so informative. He took all of our pictures. He was a great photographer. I mean, it was just amazing. Yeah, but the sights to see on that mountains and through the mountains were just gorgeous. I mean, it just was so peaceful and there wasn't a lot of people out, in the Jeeps or anything. So it was almost again like we had all of that to ourselves. Yeah, it was just so beautiful. And then we walked through town. Oops, before I get started, I'm using this as my bronzer, my LYS. I haven't used this in a hot minute, so let's see if it's a good shade. Yeah, so then we walked around town, did some shopping. I bought a really nice sweatshirt, and the most amazing thing was, the stuff up there was not that expensive at all. I was really shocked because a sweatshirt, and it's a really nice sweatshirt. I think it was like only $35. And then let me show you what they do there. I don't know if they do it here, but they do it up there. So anyway, I have like a little cup here This here's from Temu. I absolutely love it. So anyway, you buy these little stickers and you put it on your cup. Now I did mess up a little bit here on this one, only because it's curved there. But yeah, they decorate their little cups. And so, you know, I did. I went on a little sticker binge and bought those. And then now I want to get more and decorate all of my cups. But yeah, we had a wonderful day up there. And, you know, we had a little bit of a snack and stuff. We got some ice cream. It was just another just perfect day. Oh, and I did forget after the game, we did go out to a dinner later on after we got back. And they live very close to an outdoor mall. Like literally, we walked there. And it was just really nice, you know, a lot of nice shops there. And Daryl, he loves foo drinks. So he was like in his glory. They have a place there. It just opened actually. It's like a stand and it's called, I think, Fat Tuesdays, and they have like those cocktails that are frozen. And I have a picture of Daryl somewhere, and I'll place that here. And he got like a huge one, and he just was like in heaven. He absolutely loved it. Yeah, Daryl, he loves his foo drinks. That's all he will really drink. Okay, for blush here, I got something very interesting. I don't think I've showed you guys this, but it's by Lottie London as well. And this is blush. I can't remember if I showed you guys this, but I'm going to show you it now because it is super, super cool. Now, the only thing is this is a cream blush, so I'm hoping this is going to work out. So I did forget my little stippling brush, so let's see if this will work. We will give it a try. So I'm going to place my brush in here, or you could use your fingers or probably even a sponge. But what I'm going to show you, I actually put it on my finger, and it works with like your pH. So it's going to, turn a shade. Is that not cool? Oh, I love it. And it does turn like the perfect little shade. And hopefully this brush will work. Oh yeah, this is applying just fine. And what's nice is I can go over powder products with this. But isn't this absolutely beautiful? And what I'm noticing is that you don't need a lot of product because I can tell the longer it's sitting on my skin, a little darker it's becoming. So you might want to be a little light-handed. And remember, it is going to go with your pH. So it's going to be a different shade on everybody, I'm going to assume. And it's super inexpensive. Okay, we don't have many things to try out. We're almost done. And I still have part of my story to tell you. Okay, so that was a Monday. Tuesday, we actually they live very close to a resort, and you don't have to stay there. You can just buy a day pass, and they have a lazy river. You guys, it was so much fun. It was very relaxing. They just opened up a water slide and we went down that, and oh my gosh, we were so scared. We went so high on this one little raft thing, and then I went down one and I did have like almost a panic attack because it was very small tube and you couldn't see, and yeah, I just got really, Daryl did too. So but other than that, we had a blast. We had a waitress. She was excellent. She kept bringing us whatever we needed, and it was just an amazing day. So I am going to set my face here with my Fab Lukes. I absolutely love the setting spray. It is worth every single penny, and I love the sprayer on this. Okay, let's finish up this under eye really fast. I'm hoping this video isn't like 10 hours long. And I think I'm going to do my outer corner with this shade right here, and just connect that pretty much up to the little wing I created. I think I want to use this shade here because that is just gorgeous. And I'm just going to place that on the same brush here and just move that more towards the center. And then place this shade right here more towards my inner corner. Ooh, that is so bright. You do not need a lot of that shade. As you can see, you'll be able to see that from Mars. I mean, that is super pretty and super bright. Okay, I'm absolutely loving how this makeup turned out. Everything that I chose to bring down at this point, I am loving. Okay, so that was pretty much the whole trip. So the Tuesday, yes, we went on the little lazy river, and then Wednesday we did leave. So we just packed, had some lunch, went to the airport, and I bet a lot of you are wondering how I'm not so depressed right now. Few different things. First of all, it was the most amazing trip. I came back actually very relaxed because we weren't up all night, acting crazy. We were, in bed probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest every single night. So we got plenty of rest and much needed rest. And we just had so much fun, so many laughs. I can't even tell you how perfect of a trip that was. And we're actually going back at the end of September. Kurt's birthday is on the 29th, and Amanda insisted on getting tickets for us to come back. It's going to be a very short visit, I believe, from Thursday to Sunday. So after that trip is going to be the hard one because I won't see them through the holidays or anything. So that's why I'm not so sad right now. I'm going to be seeing the kids in about 6 weeks. So, yeah, it's going to be a great little trip and looking forward to that. Okay, so I do have a new lip product that I do want to share with you, and I am just going to take off any makeup that's on my lips because this is actually a pH type of makeup as well. And it's actually by a small creator over on TikTok. I love being able to support small businesses, and I just saw her product and it looked absolutely amazing. And it's a lip oil here, and I believe it's called Boss Up Cosmetics. So what this will do is, change your lips to a different shade. So when I first got it, it was clear, but the more you use it and it gets your pH, I guess, in it, it starts changing a color. I did notice that, but this is the doe foot. Isn't that cool? So here's my lips without the oil, and it's buildable. So the more you put on, just kind of like this blush, the darker it's going to become. So I'm just going to place a little bit on right now. And you will see my lips will start changing. So let me just grab a little bit more and see how dark we can get this. And it's super comfortable. This is such a comfortable product. Again, it's a lip oil, so it's not sticky. It's just very hydrating. So as you can see, it's almost turning like the perfect little pink. Now, the more pH, I guess, your skin or lips have, the more bright it's going to be because on hers, I mean, her lips got so bright. And the longer it sits on your skin, it will stain. It's been on for maybe 2 minutes. So let's just wipe it off and see what happens. So yeah, there is a little bit of a stain to my lips, but I just wanted to share this product with you because it is really a nice little product, and again, super comfortable. Okay, but I think with this look, I'm actually going to use one of my lipsticks from BK Beauty. They had sent me this a while back, and this is in the shade Inner Beauty. So it looks like this, and these lipsticks are so comfortable and they are very creamy. And they had sent over all their shades, and honestly, each and every one of the shades are flattering on anybody that I've seen try these. So I'm actually going to take a little bit of this oil and place it on the back of my hand, only because I don't want this to turn any more of a shade than it already is. And just place a little bit over top and see what happens. Okay, so applying a little bit of that lip oil over the lipstick did deepen it up just slightly, just enough, but My lips feel so comfortable right now, so it's a great little combo. And I actually love all the makeup that I chose today. I think my makeup looks really good. I absolutely love that palette, even though at first that green, I was a little bit skeptical on how deep it was going to be, but it's actually the perfect amount. It's not too deep. It's not over the top. It just kind of brightened up my whole face. I absolutely love that palette. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video though. If you did, if you please hit that like button, I would truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about my adventures with the kids. I'm sure I will have more. I can't wait to see you guys again. I love you so much. And until next time.